Hey y'all, look, this High Time Reviews. We ain't back for a long time, but we here for a high time. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. So we doing BMF Season 2, Episode 2, Family Business. Alright, so look, the episode start with Terry basically saying he cut ties with Meech because he was basically tired of answering to Meech. And basically, with the family business, that's all he do is answer to the father. So I don't know what he think. You went from one boss to another boss for real. So the first scene is you see Terry basically getting dressed. I'm thinking he about to hit the block. He getting dressed to drive. Charles come in and tell him he basically way too casual to be driving people around, all right? So, and he like take the chain off because of course Terry got his big ass T chain on. He like, man, look, I know how to run a business. This chain represent hard work and dedication. He like, take the shit off. He like, put his shirt and tie on. So, of course Terry changed. He go pick up his first fare. It's this fucking white dude who just basically tries to tell him how to drive. Like, that's like getting in an Uber and basically telling them like, oh yeah, go this way. You could probably go this way instead of going that way. I mean, I've done that before, but only to a certain extent. Like, let them people do what they paid to do. So, of course, Terry throws the man out the fucking car, man. The man harassing him while he driving, he throws him out the car. Like, so, it is what it is. So, on the next thing, you got K9 girl, and Meech, and they had a Dairy Queen. And based off the conversation that they had, it appears that he used the Dairy Queen as a front, K9 that is. So they sitting there chopping it up. He basically trying to tell him like, you need legitimate businesses to clean your dirty money. So he's like, get something like what I got. He like, look at what I'm doing, you feel me? And he like, it make it a lot easier. So, and he say, it also give you a stream of revenue as a secondary to the drug money. He basically tries to slide him a portion of the money. He looking at him like, do I look like I take pieces? Like, he like, hit me back when you got the whole thing. Like, I gave you the whole thing, you give me the whole thing. He like, all right, bet. I'm about to go to Cleveland. I'm about to expand. I'm about to get rid of all of that shit, so don't even worry. So in the midst of that, somebody ride through and a whole motherfucking shootout ensue. Meech shooting, K9 shooting, bitches is screaming, people jumping under tables. Shit is crazy. And all of this is happening at a fucking Dairy Queen, bro. In a way, they end up clipping the one nigga, he lose his fucking shoe. So, of course, K9 and them, they call them Cinderella. They like, we gonna find Cinderella. So they not even worried. It's gonna be a nigga with a limp and a missing shoe. It ain't gonna be hard. When it first popped off, the first thing I thought was, yeah, that's fucking payback for niggas fucking shooting that nigga at the basketball game. So he shouldn't have thought that that shit was just gonna slide. And of course, Meech say, you get new allies, you get new enemies. And sure enough, he linked up with this crazy ass motherfucker and he gonna be in some crazy ass shit. On the next scene, you got Lucille basically, in the house, sprucing up the house or whatever. She look cute for her. She got her hair done up. She got a little dress on and shit. She look good, but she still ain't gonna be my man Charles now. So she ended up going through Charles' shit and she ended up finding like a porno. And she gets super offended by the fact that she finds this porno. And I'm just like, baby, he's grown. Grown men look at porno. But I guess she one of them holier than thou. So she probably thinking like, oh, why would you ever need this type of smut when you got me and you could just do, what you please with me. Why would you feel like you need a porno? Girl, you ain't giving them nothing. And you know you're not. So, of course, Charles come down. She all trying to frantically hide the fucking porno, the fucking magazine and shit. So, she end up telling him, like, I think it's fucked up that you and Terry ain't coming to, my mother house. So I guess they going to Cleveland to, go see her mother and visit the family down there or whatever. So, Terry and Charles not going because they still driving or whatever. So Lucille basically tell him like, if I'm going down, I can't go down empty-handed. So I need to get a gift for my mother. And then he like, Nicole, we've been talking about these bras for Nicole for weeks. Calm down with the bras. Like, Nicole, she gonna be all right. Calm down. So of course, Charles ain't got no bread. So they end up at Sears, you feel me? They get to the register, it's like 102. for everything. So Lucille start, you know, cheaping out, you feel me? She like, I think I'm gonna put these bras back, you know, and get something a little bit cheaper, or just not get these at all. So the girl ended up telling her like, yeah, shit, you get the motherfucking Sears card, you can get a little discount today. These bras will practically be free. So Lucille get the big eyes and shit. She like, free. And of course she fucking signed up for a fucking card. But she tell Nikki like, oh yeah, you can look around for some more shit because we gonna go ahead and max this little card out. And the next thing you got Charles basically chewing Terry out for basically kicking the nigga out the car. He basically telling the nigga like, you telling me what to do and you acting like we not partners, as if we didn't start this business with my settlement money. And he basically keep telling them like, we need to hire a fourth driver. He like, our insurance will be cheaper, we'll be able to generate more money, and we running out of settlement money, which is crazy because again, Charles didn't even plan this out right. Like I don't understand. You spent a portion of the settlement money, like 80 to 90% of the portion of the settlement money on the business, and y'all ain't turning a profit yet. I mean, listen, I know it take a while, but come on, bro. Whatever. So next thing you got B Mickey basically at the hospital with his mother. He basically bitching the nurse out because the sheets is nasty at the little rehab center. Here's my thing, bro. You put her in a cheap ass rehab center. Either that or her insurance only cover a cheap ass rehab center. So what you thought like? So B Mickey in there, you know, he rapping to his mother. She basically asked him about a grandbaby and when Kato coming. Baby, never. On both fronts. You ain't getting the baby and Kato ain't coming. So guess what? Hold your breath, mama. He look over in this corner of the room. It's a set of fresh flowers over there, whatever. And he basically asked her, like, where the flowers come from. And she said, you know, handsome fella dropped them off. He said he was your boss. So in my first instinct was, damn, did Meech drop these off just being nice? Or just to check up and see if his mother was actually still down bad, like he had been saying? Or what's really going on whole time? Second option, Bryant, Detective Bryant, being fucking dirty, popping up on that nigga mother. Next thing, you basically got everybody showing up at the family house because they about to go on a trip. So Meech end up showing up. He end up seeing Nikki. You know, they exchange pleasantries because it's always good when they see each other because Nikki love Meech, you feel me? So he go in the kitchen, Terry sitting in there studying or whatever. And he start nigga lipping the motherfucking juice. He drank straight out the motherfucking carton. So Terry basically started questioning him like, you don't come to shit. You ain't come to family dinner, but you ready to ride all the way to Cleveland with mama. So basically he ended up finding out that that Meech basically devising a plan to go down there and try to expand. And he said he basically telling him the plan, and Terry think that he basically gonna go down there with the product with the mother and Nikki in the car. He like, no nigga, I got a plan. Like, I'm gonna get B Mickey to take it down. I'm gonna go down clean, you feel me? Fucking Bryant was the one who dropped the fucking flowers for the mother. His shiesty ass. He's still pressing, and that's what I'm saying. B Mickey is going to be the fall of this fucking empire because he couldn't get rid of the gun. Like, you literally committed 2 murders. And I feel like, truth be told, after he killed J-Mo, he should have got rid of the gun. I would have got rid of the gun after killing J-Mo because that's one body already attached to it. You literally decided to drive around with it. And now you're in this situation where you basically got to feed this fucking cop information because you thought it was a good idea to keep riding around with a gun that you committed 2 murders with. Truthfully, all right, cool. If you ain't get rid of it after killing J-Mo, why the fuck did you keep it after you fucking killed Kato? Like, what? So Brian basically getting in his head telling him like he gotta start looking out for himself, you feel me? Like he told him like, look, Meech is out of town. He told him 72 hours. You better get me something on Meech or it's basically over for moms up in this rehab center. I'm like, damn, you gonna threaten his mother? You already got him in a fucking chokehold. Why would you turn around and threaten his mother? Like, so here we go with fucking Terry and Lala again. I do not know what the fuck this bitch character's name is. I'm gonna have to look it up. If anybody know what her name is, put it down in the comments. Like, I'm just gonna keep saying Lala's character. So Terry back there pressing again. He asking about the premium if they add a 3rd driver. Lala steps into the back of the scene. She basically asks the girl at the computer, like, you know, how much would his premium go up if he got an extra driver? So she ends up telling him it's the best bet if they get somebody above age with a clean driving record, not a fucking teenager. So, she, you know, he came in and he helped her drive business to her business. Now she basically ends up teaching him how to drive more business to his business. So in that process, he ends up stealing a stack of brochures for a whole nother driving company, you feel me? So he sticks them in his back pocket. And Lala is basically schooling him on basically where the good places to park your cars. Because again, if you think about it, hold on, yeah. Process of all that, basically, Lala ends up telling Terry, like, oh, the best place to probably park your car is at the airport. You know, just like you see rental cars at the airport all the time, taxis, personal driving services, shit like that. So she basically puts him on with that early, like, all right, best bet is to get your passengers nice snacks. You know, like how when you get in an Uber and you see snacks in your Uber and all that shit like that, you know. So he basically, like, you know, he takes this chance to shoot his shot. So he basically say to her, like, why you don't take me shopping or whatever, you know, to help me buy stuff for the drivers. So they agreed to do that. And the next thing you got Lucille, Meech, and Nikki showing up at the family house. Now here's the thing: they drove Meech car, so of course Meech got the Benz. So the family on the porch, and they looking like shit. The Charles must have got a raise, something like. And of course Lucille got on her new shit that she bought from Sears with the credit card. So they looking flashy. You feel me? They show up looking flashy. So that's when you end up meeting Meech's cousin, the nigga with the Rick James curl. So he basically told him, like, nigga, I work at this video shop. Like, I make a couple of hours, but it ain't shit. That's why I still got my little side hustle or whatever. So he basically telling him, like, nigga, I got a plan, you feel me? You hook me up with whoever you link your shit with, and then I spread the word, and then we'll go ahead and work it out, and I'm going to sell the shit through your video store. He like, all right, bet. So the grandmother asked about Terry and Charles. She basically tell them, Lucille basically tell her, like, they they uh they back home working on the family business or whatever. So you get back in the grocery store with Lala and Terry, and like I said, he snatched that stack of brochures. He ended up stealing the brochures and basically saying that he was going to cover them up with their family business name instead of leaving it as is. First of all, nigga, how cheap could you be? I mean, I understand y'all running out of money for the settlement bread, but don't fucking cover up another brochure with your family name. So she shows him to like the upper scale candy that would probably work for a upper clientele. So she's showing the Ferrero Rochers. Everybody like a little Ferrero Rocher. So she basically telling him like the type of she's trying to show him like the type of eye he should have for his potential passengers, as far as like what's the right type of passenger to pick up to drive business for your business. So the whole time she talking, this nigga just staring at her lips and shit. Just the whole time, just in her fucking mouth, like might as well be. So the next thing you got Meech and his cousin go to the niggas that run the shit in Cleveland or whatever. So he basically come to him, proposition a deal. Of course the split is in Meech's favor. He like, look, I'm gonna float you some shit. You like it, boom, we gonna make a deal, but the deal is in my favor. All right, cool. So next thing you basically at the hospital where Lamar was, and you can hear his like beeping machine like doing like different wrong beeps and shit. You feel me? So of course the fucking security guard that's watching the door can hear it too. So he go in and check on him and shit. Lamar basically not in the bed. That nigga fucking basically end up choking the motherfucking security guard out. See, see, see now Brian, this gonna backfire on Brian because Brian, you the one that kept this nigga alive. This shit is your fucking fault, bro. Because now if Lamar go on a fucking tear because y'all decided to keep him alive because you thought he was going to snitch on fucking Meech, you fucking crazy, bro. You crazy. Now look at this shit. Look at how it played out. So of course in the next scene, Brian got his hell Jen. What happened? So he meets her at the Spanish tea shop. I guess it's a hot pot spot. So she introduced him to the hot pot, tell him how you basically cook the food or whatever it was, though you do it in a broth right in front of you, blah, 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 blah. He makes a racist joke about it being rat, whatever. And, of course, I'm starting to like them two as partners, but again, that's bad news together. That's all I know, they bad news together. So Terry do on his first day at the airport, And as soon as he get there, he basically get pressed by the security guard that's basically trying to pat down the drivers. So he patting down all the personal drivers and the cab drivers to basically be able to park at the curb. So he basically told Terry like, nigga, move the fuck, either cut me my money or move the fuck on. Terry like, nigga, I'm not cutting you shit. He like, all right, well, move the fuck on. So Terry get his first customer because the dude is basically going deep into the city. So he like, most cab drivers don't go this way, you feel me, because it's too deep into the hood. So Terry like, damn, for real, that's good to know that you know drivers. He like, look, he basically ended up getting 4 more fares just based off him fucking screaming out the window that he going into the city. Niggas is going into the city. So there you go. He got a full car at this point. So Meech is basically testing his theory in the video store. So basically he's, he just walking around acting like he's shopping. But of course he's overhearing the sales. So basically what he did was he incorporated his package into like the menu where you rent your movies. So basically if you come up and you ask for the deluxe edition, you basically get like the dope instead of the movie. Kind of just like he did with the fucking the food truck, as far as like the smash burgers or whatever, the burgers in the bag with the dope in the bag. It's kind of like the same thing, but just in the fucking video store. So that's the new hustle in Cleveland. So we're gonna see how that play out for real. So you back at the house or whatever, and they having a party. At Lucille Mother house they having a party, and then you cut right back to the house, and it's Terry and Charles. Terry is basically trying to tell Charles like, we need to take people from the airport and drive them into the city. He like, most cab drivers ain't doing that shit. He like, we could expand the business that way because that's a market that ain't nobody tapping into. Charles like, no, we need to drive people around this neighborhood and who we know. Charles, yo, this Terry money, this Terry fucking business for real. Like, if you wasn't grown enough to sign out the documents, it would be Terry's fucking company. So I don't understand why you even trying to fucking flex on him as if it wasn't for him fucking losing his eye, you wouldn't even have the money to start this business that you want to keep fucking trying to call the shots for. And you got B. Mickey, he on the phone with Meech. And of course, here go Bryant, popping up per usual. So Bryant banging on the door, screaming through the fucking window. Meech can hear him. So B. Mickey gotta basically fucking lie and rush and get up the phone so he can have a fucking sneaky ass conversation with Bryant. Like, what? Still pressing Bryant, mind you. Bryant still pressing B. Mickey. And mind you, Meech just put him on a whole new mission to deliver the package to fucking Cleveland for him. So basically, what's his plan? What's B. Mickey plan? Is he gonna fucking tell Bryant like, oh yeah, this date, I'm taking this shit to Cleveland, or is he gonna fucking like shut the fuck up for once? Like, nigga, you and this nigga Bryant, y'all is bad news, bro. Y'all just like, it's just not a good call, yo. I just think B. Mickey is in a really bad place right now, yo, and it's not gonna work out in his favor. So I think he should just, I'd hate to say it, he should go ahead and skip town for real. For real. So Bryant basically like, look, you better give me something. So he basically ended up telling them about the trap house or whatever. And he like, look, well, Meech got to be there because he got to pick up the package or whatever. So he like, Meech is going to be there. We'll see. And that's basically what Bryant giving, we'll see because I don't trust your ass. So we back at the airport. I guess this day two, Terry parking at the airport trying to get the fucking fares. So he ends up running up to another one of the personal cab drivers out there, and he ended up saying to him like, yo, he basically fucking robbing us. He don't have no right to basically ask us for no fucking off the top money to park right here. He like, and of course the other driver's like, nigga, mind your business. You just getting around here. You up here trying to basically call some shots. Like, he like, no, nigga, stay out of it, basically. Terry like, look, if we stick together, we can change shit up for him. So as Terry go to walk back to his car, the motherfucking dude basically press him again about the bread. He like, look, where's my fucking money? Like, either that or move your fucking car, right? So Terry like, man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't paying you shit. Neither one of these drivers, none of these drivers is paying you shit. We're done. And we're going to report you to the airport. So now get the fuck out of here. So how about it? And of course, I mean, old boy probably ain't want to lose his job, so he keeps it moving. You feel me? Like, yeah. So right after that, some weird ass shit happened. So one of the motherfucking white company drivers, like, he basically say like, "Well done," you feel me? He like, "Yeah, thanks." He like, "Yeah, you from the Flannery family driver?" He like, "Yeah." He like, so he hold his hand out to him, he shake his hand or whatever. But then he end up pulling him in, and he basically tell him like, "Nigga, don't fuck with our brochures no more." I was like, "What?" Not the motherfucking mob dude run up on him with the brochures, cause that's crazy. But I knew he shouldn't have fucked with them people brochures, yo. You can't do that shit. So of course, yo, the nigga motherfucker told him he warned him. It would be crazy as shit if that was a dirty ass company that he just ran into and he fucked with their fucking. Damn, that would be crazy for real if that interaction led to something way deeper, as far as like two fucking limo services beefing. So, all right. So, of course, Terry ends up getting a fist, like this Russian lady or whatever. She's intrigued by the candy and whatever, and he's driving, and she's like, I recommend you, blah, 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 blah. Terry ends up noticing that there's like police checkpoints. So he he asked the cops like how long and how many checkpoints is going to be. They basically tell him like they're going to be all around basically. So he ends up saying to the lady, like the fed, like, "Do you mind if I make a call to one of my feds so I can let them know that their ride going to be late or whatever?" She said, "No, she don't mind." Of course, he runs to the phone. He called Meech. Meech wait because Meech is waiting on B. Mickey call. Meech ended up giving him shit about calling him and holding up the line. No, nigga, he's trying to fucking look out for your shit. Like, so, of course, in the midst of him having that conversation with Terry on the line, he's smoking a blunt. The grandmother come outside. She start whipping his ass off the porch because she like, "Nigga, why is you smoking that shit on my porch?" Like, so, of course, Terry mad as shit that fucking what's his name hung up on him. So he got to take matters into his own hands. So he go to the record store. Lil Zane and Dink or whatever, they up in that bitch fucking dancing or whatever, the flashlight. So they up in there dancing to that or whatever. He busts up in there and he basically like, "Where the fuck is B Mickey?" He like, "Nigga, you need to calm down. You don't run shit here. You ain't even in works with us." He like, "Take your Stevie Wonder looking ass on." He like, "Nigga, where the fuck is the fucking shit at?" So in the midst of all of that, fucking Zane end up telling Terry he the one that's gonna do the run. So he like, "Nigga, you ain't doing no run, not your goofy ass, and you high as shit on top of everything." So I'm like, he gonna let Zane do it? See, B Mickey slipping. He already showing holes in his leadership. If he basically out there willing to let this nigga Zane run the fucking package in a city full of fucking cops, no. So then you get Lucille and her mother have a whole little scene where she basically end up breaking down and telling the mother basically everything that's going on. Meech, I bought all this shit with a credit card. Me and Charles basically ain't fucking or dealing with each other right now. Meech selling drugs. Terry was selling drugs. I took a credit card just to buy these outfits just to show off for y'all. Like, yeah, shit is real. She tells the grandmother everything. So she think that the mother gonna judge her. That's still her mother. And the mother don't even seem to care. Her mother don't even seem to care that Meech sell drugs. Everybody in his family basically in on the bread. Like, so in the next scene, you got LaWanda and Terry Jr. Okay, so Terry knocking on the door. Terry busts up in there. He frantic as shit. He like, "Hey, you want to go to Cleveland?" So basically what he gonna do is he gonna take the package to Cleveland instead because he can probably finesse his way through the fucking checkpoints because he's a driver now. So what he does is he gets to Tawanda's spot and he basically, or LaWanda's spot, and he basically refills the fucking the formula with the dope and is planning to carry it and travel that way while him and LaWanda go to Cleveland with the baby. So they driving, they driving. He tries to take an alternate route and he still ends up getting caught at a checkpoint. So he like, fuck, shit. He start acting nervous. LaWanda start catching on to the fact that he acting nervous. She like, "Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you acting like that? You should be clean, you feel me?" So of course, this gonna probably lead to her getting into the fact that he did some sneaky ass shit with her and the baby in the car. Of course, they make it through because it's only right that they make it through the checkpoint because it would be trash for them to get bagged, him, LaWanda, and the baby with all this dope. It would be bad. So in the next scene, him, LaWanda, and the baby basically pull up in Cleveland, and they at the motherfucking house, and he like, "What the fuck you doing here?" Meech said, he like, "Nigga, I brought the family, and I brought your girls." He like, "Nigga, you needed my help." He like, "Nigga, I thought you was out. If you out, stay out." He like, you was supposed to make that right. He like, "Nigga, thank you." He like, "What the fuck?" He like, "Nigga, I just went through hella checkpoints just to bring you this shit." He like, "What the fuck? Why would you even try to carry me?" He like, "All right, cool, whatever. You're welcome." So Terry basically blow past Meech, going to the house. He basically end up telling him like, just get out of the way, basically. So now we in the house, and they looking for the shit, and one of the cans is missing. So first thing I think is, LaWanda, please don't tell me you fucking gave the baby the fucking dope as milk. Please don't tell me you did that. Please don't tell me you did that. Please don't tell me you did that. So all of them basically scrounging around looking for the dope. Meech, Terry, and the cousin, all of them looking around, and they finally look over, and fucking Lucille is basically making a bottle with the fucking dope. Yo, I could have screamed for them, yo. And the fact that none of them screamed in that moment was crazy as shit to me. Because I'm like, this bitch could have literally gave she was on like her second or third scoop. And she almost gave that shit to the baby. That baby would have been unalive, okay? Adios. So, shit. So, Meech's cousin ended up taking him to, the place where the nigga from Cleveland, where he hang out at, where the niggas hang out is. So of course, as soon as he walk in, Meech ends up getting patted down. They take his strap or whatever, and he try to check the package. The security guard, he like, "Man, get the fuck out the package." He like, "You already took my gun." So Meech come in, he get a nigga the package. They try it. He like, "Ooh, that's that good shit." So blah 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 blah. The nigga from Cleveland basically try to rise up on Meech. Tell Meech like, now that you here, the motherfucking terms of the agreement have changed. So basically, he tried to flex on Meech and basically tell Meech, "I'm taking a bigger cut now." So, of course, Meech like, "What?" So he stepped, but then he forget, like, "All right, bet, like, I'm 10 deep, I'm outnumbered, basically." So of course, Meech take the L right then and there. That's cool. That's cool. He let that slide because he like, "All right, bet, you playing dirty." He like, "Nigga, I was doing your solid by putting you on, and you basically gonna double cross me." He like, "All right." The cousin basically tell the nigga, the light skinned nigga, like, "Look, yo, this is a good opportunity." The nigga like, "This my city, this my crew. We taking a bigger cut, so it is what it is." And he like, "I'm taking my shit back." So of course, like I said, when Meech go to grab the shit, everybody rise up. So it's a whole thing. So like I said, Meech took the L, and he went on about his business for that night. So in the next scene, you got, I guess, like tactical or whatever. So you got Brian and Jen leading the brigade for the tactical for the trap house raid or whatever. So some nigga in the back of the fucking room, in the back of the classroom and shit, with his hand up like this and shit, he basically opened his mouth and he said, "Well, this must be some high ranking CI that you got if you know exactly where their stash house is, this, that, and the third." So of course Jen fucking bite his head off. She like, "Nigga, mind your fucking business. This is his credible CI that he been working for over a year, and if he trusts him, I trust him. So y'all should trust him." I was like, "All right, that nigga sticking up for a new partner. Look at her." So Terry come in the house, and the next scene, he busts up in the house. Charles got a whole fucking white lady sitting there that's basically a new driver that he hired without even talking to Terry. So he basically tell Terry like, "I don't need your permission to, make a better decision for the company." He gonna say, "I don't need to do that. I don't need to run that by you." How do you figure? How do you figure? I feel like in the long run, he gonna leave Charles holding the bag, because Charles just think he know what the fuck he doing, and because he worked with Denise at the factory, he think she good people. So okay, we'll see. So in the midst of that, Lucille and Nikki come in because they coming back from Cleveland or whatever. So Meech dropped them off, so he don't come home when the father there. So Meech ain't come in. Lucille knows Denise. She ends up speaking to the lady, That's the lady name, the white lady. Her name Denise. So Lucille ends up speaking to Denise because they know each other, of course. Because like I said, Charles and Denise worked at the factory together. So so in the next scene, you end up seeing Meech help this like she like old, but she not old. So you see him helping this older lady with like her groceries or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I feel like I seen a scene like this kind of like on Snowfall or something, you know. So of course, he's basically in the lady house. He help her with the bags and shit. He ends up in the house. Whole time, here come the light skinned nigga, the nigga that run the gang in Cleveland. He then made it into this nigga mother's house, bro, with the blicky, bro. This nigga is hot. When I say the nigga that run the crew in Cleveland is hot, first of all, he got the dick look. You feel me? He trying to get the mother out the room because he think he about to flex on me. But how you think you about to do that when this whole shit is a surprise to you? You can't think that you got no type of leverage, right? So Meech pulled a gun. Nigga, since you like surprises, he was like, I ain't think you was gonna mind me popping up, you feel me? So he like I said, the split is what I said it was, and my cousin gonna be running shit. So guess what? You gonna report to him. He said, guess what? You fuck something up, I'm gonna fucking kill your fucking mother, basically. Like, don't play with it. Like, he like, all right, I get it. And he said, I'm gonna need that product back. So now he done took the product, he got you under his control, and his fucking cousin running shit. So now you's a bitch. So in the next scene, you got the tactical team basically running up to run up in the trap house. Of course, Meech not there, cause Meech still in fucking Cleveland. So they get some dope. They get a couple people, but they don't get who they want. And Brian's still mad. Like, this is my thing with Brian. Like, bro, you're not about to get Meech that easy. And just like in the first episode, Terry said it took you 15 years to catch him. So it had to take you at least 10 years to catch Meech. So in the midst of all that, yo, one of the niggas tried to jump out the front window. Not even the back window. This nigga tried to jump out the front window and they're breaking this whole shit. He like, ah. And it's like a fucking line of cops standing behind him. Like, bro, why the front window? But you didn't even think about the back window or just saying fuck it? Like, I'm already caught. So of course, all right, so now it's time to go ahead and pay K9. So K9 up in his little spot or whatever, and Meech come through with the money. So, but he got all of it this time. So Meech bopping through or whatever. And it's this nigga in there, he like shooting craps or whatever. He at the craps table. But he must be breaking niggas because he's like feeling himself. Like he's sitting over there basically running his mouth talking about how I'm gonna take all y'all niggas money, this, that, and the third. But they keep showing them. So I feel like when you watch enough TV shows, you start to notice that certain shit gonna happen to certain people just based off like how much they show a person in a show, how many scenes this person get, or if it's a side character that may get too many scenes, or they may just keep like their voice end up overlapping the audio of everything else. Like, trust me, that person will end up dying or having something happen to them. So just be alert when you watch the shows. When they over exaggerate a side character or somebody in the background, it ain't gonna be good for them. It ain't. So of course, after he pays K9 the bread or whatever, he like, look, let me show you something. So he take him into another room and he end up giving him the other shoe to the nigga that shot at them at the Dairy Queen. So he like, yeah, I found Cinderella. He's like, and the shoe fit. So he got the nigga stretched out on the table, unalive, with both shoes. I said, this dude K9 ain't to be played with. So K9 said, when a motherfucker violate, Meech said, we gonna demonstrate. I said, oh, these two can't be working together because he gonna turn Meech into a whole nother type of monster. If it don't get to the point where Meech end up having to kill him, he gonna end up turning him into a whole different type of monster. Like, he not gonna take no type of disrespect, not even like the slightest. Especially after they come out like the whole shit would be Mickey. Like, he really gonna start feeling away. He not gonna really trust nobody. So next scene, you got Lamar in the ring, basically still in the scrubs and shit. My whole thing is the irony of Lamar being in the ring in this scene, considering last season with the song that they was playing when he would kill people or whatever. So that's kind of funny. So he ends up falling out in the street, and it's this car that rolled up to him. And the whole time, Darnell Rawl is the cousin from the fucking funeral home that saved his ass last year. He's saving him again. So now, not just is Lamar about to be out and alive, but he about to be at like 80, 85%. You know how dangerous that version of Lamar is? Come on, bro. No. And then in the next scene, fucking Brian run down on B Mickey again. Bro, stop running down on me in public. Like, you're gonna fucking get me killed if you keep running down on me in public and somebody fucking end up seeing them two together. Like, it's just stupid. Brian, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Brian don't care. Detective Brian do not care if he end up getting B Mickey killed, because it's just like, if you did, you wouldn't keep showing up at these public places where people can identify him and you. Stop. I mean, even though his pop-up this time was for good purpose, because he moved Brian, he moved B Mickey mother into a better facility. And now B Mickey dick riding, talking about ain't nobody ever done nothing like this for me, especially not no cops. So now Brian think he got him under his thumb. He got him under his thumb because they done got a couple kilos and a couple of the niggas off the street. He feel like he got B Mickey under the thumb. So back at the record store, B Mickey could pop through, and mind you, that nigga been out for the last 2-3 days. And every time he on some shady shit, when he was running around with Kato, when he first started snitching with Brian, he always blamed everything on his mother. See, that's why she not gonna end up surviving. Because he keep blaming all his fucking trifling shit on her. Like, no. So he basically ends up trying to explain himself to Meech, and Meech like, nigga, don't even worry about it. He like, bro, we family. Like, why would you think I would even like sweat you for not being able to be there in the moment? He like, but when shit come up, you need to say something. He like, you need to communicate. He like, nigga. And then Zane and Dink end up telling Meech like, well, nigga, you need to communicate better too, because what the fuck? You let Terry bust up in here and fucking basically rough us up because calling shots as if he still run with the business. So you need to communicate that better. What we supposed to do? They said, look, he basically messed our party up, and who we supposed to answer to? So Meech ended up basically telling them, like, at this point, you're going to answer to me and me only. And I'm like, shit. And he like, nigga, if I'm not here, holla at B-Mick. See, my whole thing is calm down. You're being naive and your eyes are not open, Meech. B-Mick is not loyal right now. You cannot trust him, yo. He not even around when you need him. He was supposed to drop a mission for you. He never even called and let you know he couldn't do it, even after he had talked to Brian and all of them. So it's like, what the fuck? So in the next scene, you got Charles busting up on Lucille. She up in a new little light gown. I guess she must have bought that from Sears too. So Charles like, oh, that's pretty nice. Did you buy that with the credit cards you put in the Cole name? I said, damn. I said, why she ain't put it in her name? I said, why she ain't put it in her name? She gonna try to blame it on the porn. Bitch, it's not about the porn. It's not about the porn at all. Like, he basically like, I want you the way he like, I want you to want me the way I want you. And she like, I'm basically tired. She like, I'm taking care of everything, She like, I gotta deal with the fact that, you fucking kick Meech out the house. I gotta keep 2 eyes on fucking Terry. Terry got the fucking baby. He's still in school. I'm taking care of the house, and then you want me to take care of you. He like, look, well, we both tied at this point. So where we at? He like, can you do that for me? Can you make me feel wanted? That's what Charles saying. I said, damn, Charles, that's crazy that you even had to pull your heart out like that. But again, she's still trying to make it about the porn. Like, no. No, it's like, what? No, stop trying to make it about, like, Lucille, you gotta love on that man. Like, you do. You really do. If not, I mean, she looked good the whole episode. And that was the thing. And I think they probably did that on purpose, because it's like they want to make her appealing to him in this episode, but also make her unattainable to him. It was a crazy thing that they did with the episode. I like it though. So in the next scene, you got Terry and Nikki going to the movie theater. And I guess Meech must have knew they was going, because Meech there. So Meech basically intercepts them at the movie theater, basically pressing Terry like, nigga, you got my crew fucking undermining me because you went in there running your shit without fucking running it past me. So these niggas get into a all-out argument in the movie theater, end up having a fucking fist fight. First one was when they first start talking they shit, they loud as shit. Nikki know what the fuck they talking about, because Nikki already know they in the business, so she basically ends up walking off. These niggas get into an exchange. He basically like, nigga, don't say shit in my clip. He like, nigga, you either you in or you ain't. He like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. He like, you can't keep tiptoeing for real. So now you fucking with my shit. So they end up getting into a shoving match. They get into a fist fight. They are fist fighting in the fucking movie theater. Like, and Meech basically tell him like, nigga, you fucking intercept my business again, I'ma fuck you up again. Like, straight up. So I'm like, damn. He was like, if it wasn't for me, fucking Flunky would have been locked up and I saved your dumb ass again. He said, I ain't tell you to do that. He said, mind your fucking business and stay out of mine. And that was basically how the episode ended. What's crazy is they need to stop beefing. And they need, I'm telling you, they work better together. But look, y'all, I guess we just gonna wait till next week to see what happens, because the trailer, just make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. This was BMF Season 2, Episode 2, Family Business. I'm out of here, y'all.